It was a cold morning. Sand stretched endlessly to the horizon, and the sky was wrapped in a thin haze. A group of German officers stood outside their camp, staring at a strange little vehicle, small, open, unarmored. One of them laughed and said, "So this is the American machine? It looks like a toy for children." Another lit a cigarette, smirked and muttered, "Americans must think war is a circus." The group burst into laughter. None of them knew that this little toy would soon become the symbol of their defeat. For the German army, mobility meant weight, steel, machinery, noise. Power was defined by the roar of panzer tanks, the thunder of half-tracks, and the precision of convoys moving like clockwork. To them, war was an equation of armor and order. But the American Jeep? It was the opposite, open, simple, almost careless. And perhaps that was its greatest strength. The Kübelwagen, the pride of German engineering, was their model of perfection, efficient, fuel-saving, clean design, and crafted for organized roads. But war doesn't always have roads. When the scorching deserts of North Africa turned the sand into quicksand and German vehicles began to bog down, the American Jeeps kept gliding through, kicking up dust like they owned the desert. Their wheels seemed to find grip where none should exist, as if the earth itself was guiding them forward. One German mechanic wrote in his report, "This American car breaks every rule. How can something so small carry so much?" His confusion was justified. The Jeep had no sophistication, no elegance, yet it simply worked. When Kübelwagens overheated and stalled, when German soldiers sought shade from the heat, somewhere in the distance, a Jeep would roar past, dust swirling behind it, as if whispering, "I'm still moving." German officers considered it an insult that the enemy relied on such a crude-looking vehicle. But slowly, the battlefield taught them a bitter lesson. Simplicity is not weakness. One day, a German captain shouted to his engineer, "Why do these things keep coming back? We destroy them, and the next day there are more." The engineer shrugged. Maybe they just have too many. He wasn't wrong. By 1944, America had produced more than 600,000 Jeeps, spread across every front, every column, every convoy. The Jeep wasn't just a machine. It was a philosophy. Freedom, simplicity, adaptability. It didn't obey formality or hierarchy. One day it was an ambulance, the next a command post, a supply carrier, or a weapon mount. It reflected the American soldier, stubborn, informal, endlessly moving forward. When German units first captured a Jeep, they examined it up close. They opened the hood, studied the parts, checked its frame. What they found was shocking. "Why is it so simple?" one officer asked. Another replied, "Because it was designed by soldiers, not engineers." That moment defined the difference between two worlds, the German obsession with perfection versus the American obsession with practicality. The German design was elegant but limited. The American design was ugly but limitless. After the deserts came mountains and mud. As Jeeps climbed the rocky paths of Italy and rolled through the farmlands of France, the Germans realized something terrifying. This small enemy was everywhere. Their intelligence reports described them. These American vehicles move day and night, unstoppable by terrain or weather. A German soldier once joked, "Maybe their wheels run on sunlight, because they never stop." But the jokes faded. By the final years of the war, some German units began using captured Jeeps themselves. They became valuable assets. One officer wrote in his diary, "We captured an American Jeep. It's strange. It doesn't need manuals, it just runs." That line summed up the war itself, a clash not just of armies, but of mindsets. The Kübelwagen was like the German spirit, disciplined, calculated, rigid. The Jeep was like the American soul, open, free, and endlessly adaptable. As the Allies advanced toward Berlin, the roads were filled with endless Jeep convoys, roaring, bouncing, relentless. And somewhere on those roads, a German soldier stood watching, silent. Perhaps a thought crossed his mind. The thing we laughed at has defeated us. And in that moment, history came full circle. A small, unarmored, humble vehicle, once the butt of every German joke, had become the symbol of victory. The officers who once mocked it could now only watch as it rolled past, carrying the flag of a new era. Because in the end, war isn't won by size or power alone. It's won by creativity, resilience, and will. The Jeep was all of that, an idea that became motion,